See where that left wrist is, almost pointing up kind of that way? We want to be more there. Instead of the hands coming across here, as we pull down, releasing them out kind of more away from you.
Oh my God, you know what I hate the most is when you are driving and there's just someone in the back seat just yapping away, telling you how to do X, Y, Z, how you need to get from one location and just becoming a backseat driver. And today we are going to be talking about that in this lesson. If you have a problem with having your offhand basically pushing the ball, this lesson is for you. I have a massive problem where my left hand doesn't do much of the effort and then that causes scooping my shots. We're gonna just diagnose that entire problem today with drills, lessons, swing thoughts, the whole 9 yards. So without wasting time, let's get into it. And I'm just trying to focus on like small things now rather than trying to completely fix my entire swing. Yeah. Mentally, I think it's better for sure, but I guess we'll see how it looks.
Yeah. You can go ahead and start taking some swings.
Ooh. Trying this new thing where I'm kind of just pulling with my left arm now too, so kind of getting used to that. I'm just keeping my right foot down a lot, but I don't know if I'm turning properly.
So as we're watching this, doing a better job keeping that right foot down for sure, obviously. I mean, it's almost completely on the ground at this point. But we definitely want that releasing off the ground and that follow through. So like our hip turn here, the finish is 89. We want that like 109, and we want that at like 140 almost. So we want to get you pointed a little bit more over that way, which is we need to get that weight off that right foot. So give me a few swings like that.
So off the right foot, what do you mean?
So we're going back into impact. It should be a little off the ground. Then by follow through, all that weight should be over on that left foot, and we should kind of just be on that right toe a little bit with not a lot of weight over there. Much better shoulder and hip turn. You actually slightly overturn the shoulders on that one, but that's looking a lot better there. So
I think
now
I need to come in like this though, right? Rather than.
Yeah, so what I want to work on the rest of the day is right in here. So you're definitely starting that downswing still with the shoulders. You're turning the shoulders pretty fast. Hands are getting a little bit more to the outside, and then we're pushing with that right hand. Yeah. Where we want to be lower body initiates and kind of more pulling with that left hand. So I want you to really feel that right arm is pretty loose on this next swing. Almost like you're just barely holding that club. Everything is pretty much being powered by the left hand on this swing.
Okay.
A lot better there. Do that again. So we've talked some about this, but in this position right here, that club face is pretty wide open for you. Yeah. So you're coming back and you're coming to here. Yeah. See where that left wrist is, almost pointing up kind of that way? Yeah. We want to be more there. So if you're right here, flex, see how that closes the face there? Yeah. That's more of the position we want to be in. So as you're coming back here, we almost want to be just putting that left wrist into flexion. And then the rest of the way, we can kind of forget about that. Our wrists should naturally return to flexion a little bit at that point. If it's not, we'll continue working on that. But just same thing, so we're still focusing just on that left hand, a little bit of flexion here, and then we're pulling on that downswing.
I feel so like clumped up.
I don't want you worrying too much about that right now. Okay. The one thing you can kind of do though is swing towards like that area. So if you watch where your hands are coming, here they're okay. We definitely don't have a ton of space at that point, but you pull your hands back inward that way. If you try to get them extending out away from you a little bit more, you should feel a little bit more room at that point. So really, I just want to mostly be focusing on that backswing and the downswing. With this position of impact right here, if we had your wrist in a better position, that would have been a pretty straight shot that we hit there.
When you said like aim for like somewhere.
So like I want you to feel like that club head after it's making contact is releasing more out that way. And the hands are, so instead of the hands coming across here, as we pull down, releasing them out kind of more away from you. So I just want you to practice that takeaway with the left wrist flexion real quick. So that, feel like you're keeping that club face pointed at the ball.
Club face at the ball,
yeah.
Okay.
So is that, there you go.
Yeah.
So a little slower this time. That's better. There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah. Go ahead and take a swing like that.
So I guess another question is I guess my shoulder tilt and shoulder turn. I'm like kind of just going this. Should I be like getting to that point more of like moving my shoulder there, or is this like fine?
I mean, we're moving the hands and the arms a little bit here, right?
Yeah.
But then we're also tilting and turning the shoulders slightly. So all those things are working together. I just want you focusing on the left wrist and the left hand as we're pulling down here.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit another one for me. That's definitely better. We can do a little bit more with that. See where that club face is, kind of at that angle, and we're at like that angle there. So get that toe a little bit more down, just a little bit more left wrist flexion on this next one.
And then, so his is like pointing at the camera, more or less?
Yeah.
Mine's kind of like here. So should I guess, keep it more?
So that has to do with the way you're you lift the hands right through there.
Yeah.
That's what does that. I'm not too worried about that right now. We'll get back to working on that in the future, but just focus on that lead wrist flexion for me here. So you're catching some of these just out on the toe a little bit.
Yeah. I need to keep my weight still on that. I'm like going like this instead of like that.
On that last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely getting a little bit up on you. There you go. This is definitely a better one.
Hopefully.
A little bit more push with the right hand than what we would want.
Yeah.
I'm a failure.
Just swing this hard a few times, but I want you to focus on two things. On that downswing, focus on the way that you're kind of pulling with the left hand, and then allow the weight of that to kind of pull your right foot off the ground rather than like lifting it off the ground. Harder.
Okay.
Did that feel difficult to do with the right foot at all?
I mean, the weight naturally feels like
a lot better. Yeah.
It feels like it's pulling, yeah.
So I want you to kind of focus on more of that feeling, because that's what we're doing. Yeah. Our upper body going forward is pulling us off of that right foot rather than us shifting our weight off of it.
Gotcha, gotcha. Oh yeah, that is so different.
Make sure it's that light solid blue on the next few swings.
Ooh.
So you lined up with it right to the inside of the club, and then your brain made you pull your arms in and you hit it off the toe there.
So, all right, I actually wanted to ask you this question.
Yeah.
So it seems I'm gonna be basically coming under it like this, right? More or less, in order.
Think of it more like
softball.
Like bowling, where we want that right shoulder going under this way, not trying to like move our hands just under like that. So you're kind of doing more of that to try and go under, where we want it more with that right shoulder going down towards the ground. We'll get a little bit more into that once we're doing this part a little bit better. But yeah, that tilting more rather than just trying to like turn through is going to be that next step that we're working on.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're pulling across it a little bit here, and your club face is open about 5.5 degrees right there. Yeah. But then your path is pulling across it just a touch, and that's causing it to go right. Okay. So remember I had said to swing out in like this direction here.
Yeah, and then have it closed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And this club is dropping under this line here, our plane line. That's one of the reasons we're hitting it kind of fat. That's just gonna deal with rotating a little faster in the downswing. I don't want you necessarily worrying about that right now, but that's part of the reason why you're hitting it fat and a little bit right as well, because that's gonna tend to leave that club face slightly more open.
Gotcha. So, but like, if I'm coming and I'm trying to hit it this way, more or less, is it not coming from this angle coming in?
So as you're coming down, we want it more here and coming more like that, right and behind the hands.
Oh, okay.
Where you're kind of coming down, it's dropping this way a little bit more and coming in more that way.
Gotcha.
Let me pull up your swing and badly swing here. All right, so top of the backswing, your hands are in about the same spot. As you come down, your hands drop under that line a little bit, and then you drop that club head a little bit more underneath.
Yeah.
So that's back behind our butt here. He keeps that shaft a lot more vertical all the way through, and then keeps that club head a lot closer to that line. So do you see how that's pulling with that left hand?
Yeah.
Like if we just got rid of that right hand there, it would look like he's just pulling straight down with the left hand. Where for you, a lot of that weight's on that right hand, and that's where so you are pulling, but it's more here, and then you push with that right hand. So it gets down to here and push.
And instead
we want pulling straight down with that left hand to there.
Okay. Let's try to do this.
So going back to kind of what we initially were talking about, really feeling that right hand off of the club. Yeah, and go try and hit a shot left-handed there.
Amputate my right hand.
Yeah. It's not needed.
Not needed. 300 yards. Let's see. Oh.
Little off the toe there, but.
So now just do that, but stick my butt out, turn.
Yeah.
And then we're scratch golfer.
Just do all those things.
Oh, all right, let me try.
Try and hit this, this noodle on your follow through.
My follow through?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna hit it, but.
Okay.
Give me a full swing now. Let's focus. We're trying to put it all together, but really focusing loose right hand, pulling with the left hand here.
Okay.
Club face was just a little bit open. So this position, that club face is pretty open.
Yeah.
So when we look at, again, on the downswing, we want to be more at that angle. So you try to close that really fast. If you are in that same exact position here on the downswing, you just turn that wrist out, that closes that club face for us.
Yeah, I guess that's like, when it's going so fast, I can't like, how do I like, what's a good feel to kind of get this?
My feeling at the top is as I get up to the top, turn my wrist out and pull. So here, and pull.
Oh, okay.
So you're setting up with that ball. I want it about there.
On the toe?
Yeah. A little smoother and slower this one. So came off that right foot a bit. So we're not trying to crush it, just nice easy swing here. That hit off the holly. That looked good. Club face is where we want it right here. It's right at that angle, I'd say. And then it is closed coming down. I think you just caught that slightly off the hosel on that one.
Okay.
But overall, that swing looked really solid.
Alrighty. Progress.
So do it again.
Progress, dude. Oh, that's the hard part. I don't know.
There it is.
Oh, we've done it. We got
140 in the air. You can still see just a little bit of a gap right in here, so that's still a sign of us pushing with that right hand.
Yeah.
We'll continue working on that, but really feeling that left hand pulling down with that left wrist flexion, and almost feel like it's pulling that right elbow into the side and we're turning through. But this is really good work here. And any questions?
No, that makes sense. I think the whole swing thought that I think you said on the second time we met was like, you're just kind of just dragging this rather than pushing.
Yeah.
And you could really make a good swing just out of one
left
hand.
hand, yeah.
I'm just trying to think that's like my main thing now. I think if we get that solid and figure out the left foot raising it and turning, I think.
I mean, if we get, like from this position right here, if we just get the hips turning a little bit more, we're in a really good position right there.
Yeah.
Get the hips turning out that way more, and then that starts tilting the shoulders more. I would love to get to that point and not really have to talk about shoulder tilt, but if we have to, then we would talk about it at that point. But we'll definitely, if we're doing this well in the next week and the next couple lessons, then we'll definitely be working on that hip turn, and we'll be looking pretty solid at that point.
And then we have like a decent shot. I could just keep practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Awesome.
Cool. Alrighty.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
No problem. Good work.
That is a wrap for this lesson and this video. If you guys like that video, please drop that like. If you want to follow this journey, because I love all of you guys following already, definitely click this lesson and video right over here on what I did yesterday. And with that, peace, love, and to all of you guys with backseat driver, hopefully you guys are done with it like me. Oh God, wait.